Peace and love, everyone. Good to see you all this week. We're going to go ahead and get started with our weekly astrology forecast. There's a lot of things that's going to be taking place this week individually for everyone, but as a collective, we will be experiencing things as well. Um, and I definitely want to share some more insight so you can be prepared. So I hope your week has been going well so far, and you had a great week. I know I had a great week. Was able to get some things done. So I should say a lot of things done. Um, and it's going to be another good week. Based off your perception, and we just finished off one cycle or season of actions with a eclipse, and so we're going to continue to move forward from there. Okay, so let's see here. See what we have today. I have. Okay, can you all see my screen based off what I have up here? This is the planets, and this today I have a different one. Peace of love, LaSherry. Um, got a different program here. This is a solar scope. This is one of my favorite ones. Peace of love, Natalie, Sister Iman, FIFO. This is one of my favorite ones. Had this for a couple years, and basically this is solar system scope. You're able to look at the stars and things like that. But peace of love, Lord and LaSherry Bay. Um, so here, this is where you see the let me see here. All right. So this is, can you guys see this? It's okay. I don't know if it's glitching, but this is the sun here, and we see that all of the planets actually revolve around the sun, not around Earth. Here's Earth here. And we see that that's not the case. So when you're looking at the sun, all of the planets in this solar system revolves around the sun. And the one thing that I will say about this app, it does not have some of the comprehension of how we view the sky, because the sun actually revolves around solstice, or you would call it Sirius. Okay, and so starting off here, you see you literally have uh, for my cancers, you all are ruled by the moon, and for my Leos, you're ruled by the sun. And so let me zoom out here. Can you guys see that? Okay. And so when we look at what's going on here, you have the moon that's here. It's for my cancers, you all are ruled by the moon, and this is, one perspective. You can look at this as the brow chakra, and it acts as a satellite, I should say. And basically this is the need for more vision, intuition, clairvoyance, consciousness. And so when you look at the moon and how it actually plays out in your um, you know day-to-day life, your personal life, personally for my cancers, this is the need for more wisdom and intuition, where you have to let go of the need to keep the peace, because you know that the moon is currently working with that Venus and that Capricorn. So this is working off that karmatic debt, tapping into your clairvoyance again, uh, and this will help you with your values, because you know that Cancer is in the second house gateway, and because Cancer is in the second house gateway, is all about your values, your finances, your resources, and how you actually go about achieving these things is through uh, others' resources. Okay, partner with others to gain more resources. Okay, so this is what you have to look out for. All right. And then for my Leos, you all are also the brow chakra as well. You're looking at the sun literally here, and the sun is in Sagittarius. So when the sun is in Sag, this is where you're growing through the pangs of learning how to be within the community, be within groups and relationships, sharing your kingdom with other people. You're an alliance, so it's all about uh, establishing your territory, but you have to learn how to do it with other people. And because the moon right now, this time the moon is here, because the moon is new, it's hard to have enough light to see the direction that everything is going in right now. So you actually have to just plant your seeds and then wait for it to grow. And it's all about growing within the community because Leo is in the third house. So this is the community gateway. And so for my Leos, where you desire to shine just like the sun, you have to be careful not to burn people up as well. Um, so this is what you're actually learning at this current moment. Peace and love. Let's see what we got. Methical, Annie V, Ellie Vargas, Awake I Am. Um, And so when you look at Leo and Cancer, this is literally your brow chakra. Okay. And so when you look at the throat chakra, we're going to look at Mercury. Okay. Here's the throat chakra, and you see which side of the sun that is on, um, and how far away it is from Earth. Okay. And so when it's dealing with my Virgos, this is where you have the need to, or Virgos and Gemini, you both have the need for more self expression because the throat chakra is all about your expression and communication. And so when you're looking at the throat chakra for my Virgos, you're trying to tap more into the role of your home, okay? Because you're dealing with that fourth house, and it's all about speaking the truth, okay, or at least your truth. And but you have to learn the lesson of not, just because you're right doesn't mean that you have to be an a-hole about it. It's learning about uh, using tact with your approach, and this is getting rid of the self-righteous behavior because you also have the south node that is actually in um, Sag, and then the north node in Gemini. So for my Virgos, you can take away from this because Mercury is teaching you the lesson about removing this approach in business, relations, friends, and love. So Sagittarius is on the seventh gateway, and that's where Mercury is. So for my Virgos, you're dealing with that fourth house. And then also for my Gemini, this is where you're beginning to learn how to think, speak, and act uh, differently than you're used to or being comfortable with doing. Because when the North Node is also in Gemini, it's all about learning how to build on a new foundation in this life. And when it comes to others, you got to learn how to listen twice. And um, the reason is because the more you think, the more the more tough it can be because you tend to speak more than anything, and then also you get involved in a lot of different activities. So when you think more, you tend to speak more, and a lot of times you could say or do or think hurtful things. Okay, so you gotta actually think about the role that your throat chakra plays in your everyday life and communication with others. Okay, so just to go with the theme for my throat chakra, you definitely want to learn how to see it from other people's perspective because from your point of view, you only can see the how you desire to see it because you only see this portion based off of your sun, and the sun is the purpose in life. And so you have all these other people on Earth where Mercury is. It can be hard to comprehend where they're coming from. So it's seeing it from different people's perspective. You don't know what they see, and sometimes you don't care to know what they see because you see what's right in front of you. So, and again, Mercury is all about speed, and you actually see how it can, um, being on this side of the sun, can actually block one's view of the big picture when it comes to working with others. So that's the lesson for my uh, Geminis and Virgos. Okay, so moving down to the heart chakra, then we're starting to get to my Taurus and my uh, Libra, and here's Venus here. And you see, it's not that far away from Earth. Okay, it's not that far away from the sun. So for my Taurus and Libra, you get the best of both worlds here. You have the ability to see other people's perspective, and also seeing the big picture as well. Plus you get the big picture reflected in the moon onto the people. So your issue or your caveat or thing to look out for is the need for more compassion, empathy, and learn how to nurture. And this is also the need for love as well, because Venus deals with love. For my copper kiss people, you're putting up Taurus, you are literally putting up with a lot of different things in relationships, and the management of resources, because you Taurus is the Earth sign and is dealing with resources. Um, and you're looking at Venus, where its placement is. It's in the eighth house, so it's all about inheritances, debts, obligations, shared resources with partners, and this is the way that you go about sharing and expressing your love. And it could be over resources, and you already an earth sign, the luxury of life. um, and you have Uranus in Taurus on earth, so when Uranus is affecting um, earth and earth signs and Taurus in particular, you can expect the unexpected, the shakeup of your resources, wealth, values, and your for this case, your close loved ones and the ones you deal with. So um, you can expect a lot of big changes behind closed doors for my Taurus. And for my Libra, this is where um, you can ignore the signs that's right in front of your face, because here you see again the big picture, but you also see the person of your desire, and you're missing out on what the sun is reflecting, because the sun also exposes. Not only does it shine, it exposes things. The moon exposes things too, but while the moon is new, it's hard to reflect that sun's light because it's brand new. Okay, it's something that has to grow. So you can have a tendency at this time to ignore the red flags or signs that's right in your face, in hopes that you'll meet somebody new that will come in and replace the person that you're with or thinking about getting with. Or you could be, trying to change this person, and hoping that they'll change, and they won't. So my advice would, go with your compassion for self in this situation, so that you can love yourself better. So you want to be putting yourself in this predicament and then dragging the other person along. So that's what I see for my heart chakra people, and that's Taurus and Virgo. And so when we get to the solar plexus, now we're looking at Scorpio and Aries. And here we have it here. This is Mars. So you see the distance that Mars is away from the sun and the Earth. And so um, Mars being this far away, you got Scorpio and Aries, love the independence, love to work. One is cardinal, love to start things. One is fixed, love to finish things and manage things. But this is the solar chakra, solar plexus, and the need to overcome doubt and shame. Um, and sometimes being so far away can actually make you feel that, because you feel isolated from others. While even working with other people, you still can get these feelings popping up. And for my Scorpios, this is where you develop a new confidence, newfound confidence in yourself and the people around you. This is where you have to go through the learning stages, growing your desires for intimacy, because the solar chakra also deals with intimacy. And this is where you can share that intimacy with a coworker, or someone that you're working with in an organization or establishment or something for a good cause. And then also for my Aries, um, because my Scorpio is in the sixth house, my Aries is in the 11th house. You all are still going through the learning pains of how to be creative when you're working with other people. And this is where you're learning from the setbacks of the path that you are on. The path that you're on, has a lot of major setbacks, especially as you're networking and meeting new people. And those setbacks can trigger you in a certain way that make you push people away because you feel distant. So you can actually push people away as well. So um, both my Scorpio and Aries ruled by Mars. This is learning how to share your experiences with others, uh, so that you can focus on a big goal together. Okay, here's the goal right in front of you. Bring your individuality to the table, but also appreciate what others have to offer as well, so that you won't forget the big goal. Okay, because that can actually make you feel further away than you actually are. And then when we start throwing in Sirius um, and Chiron is in Aries. Um, his home in Aries is in retrograde again. So it's all about learning, going through these wounds so you can learn how to better assist humanity. And that can be tough because I know a lot of my Aries and Scorpios are going through a lot um, individually or privately. So when we look at the sacral chakra, now we're getting into my Pisces and my Sagittarius. Okay, so here you can see these are the inner planets, and then we start moving outer. Here's Jupiter. Jupiter uh, here is at that angle there. As you can see, Jupiter, how far it is away from all of the inner planets here in the inner circle. So, and it's funny because when you're dealing with the sacral chakra, again, this is the need for your creativity as well, sensuality, intimacy, confidence boosting, uh, emotions. And so for my Pisces, your role in the career, because uh, Pisces in the 10th house or the midheaven. And this is where you begin to take on more of a role of a authoritative figure in your field, specialist. And this is where you're able to comprehend the actions of those authoritative figures from childhood or past that hurt you. And you can actually process that emotionally, uh, and process the actions that was taken the proper way, and now you can actually be in a role of a um, counselor or coach or some type of figure, some type of spiritual guru or figure, because you've been through the experiences. Now your only issue for my Pisces is learning to trust what you've experienced versus um, relying on textbook answers. Okay, because Jupiter is all about learning, and you've learned a lot, especially through this tough transit of this Neptune retrograde, and it's there in the 10th house, but it's no longer retrograde for my Pisces. You are now uh, free and clear of that retrograde. Plus, you have Pallas there in the 10th house to help you um, with your decision making and your peacemaking and your diplomacy. So, for my Pisces, that's a great aspect for you to help boost your sacral chakra. And for my Sagittarius, again, you're all about traveling, so you don't necessarily mind the long distance traveling. And you can actually, this actually makes the journey fun for you. Um, you're gaining more confidence as you get more access to knowledge because Jupiter is in Aquarius. And when you get more access to knowledge and resources, now um, you have to look at the flip side because um, you get more access, but it comes with more responsibility and it comes with new doubt. Okay, and then all of this world of information and all of this new found level of resources and knowledge, now comes the question: how far am I removed from this stuff? How far am I or how long have I been not knowing about these things? So that can bring, anxiety too. So, but it's something that you are learning to deal with through this transit. So I think you're going to be well. So I have faith in you, Sagittarius and Pisces. As where my Sagittarius, you like to go on the long trip physically. My Pisces will go through the long trip uh, astrally. So you might actually start going into the creative dream state, and my Sagittarius will just get deeper into that creativity mode because you see where the big picture is, and this is where you have that keen sight to be able to shoot the uh, arrow here on the mission and hit the bullseye from long distance. So where other people they need to be close range, you're more like a sniper. Okay, you can actually hit it from further distances because you have the capacity. Um, okay, so we got Pisces and Sagittarius here, so that's good. Mythical, Carissa Powell. Okay, happy Sagittarius season, and peace of love, Marvin Monroe. And lastly, we have the root chakra. So you look at the root chakra here. You're looking at Saturn. We're looking at Capricorn and Aquarius. This is the need for stability, food, water, shelter, and even safety. And so for my Capricorns, you guys are in the eighth house. You have Pluto there, and Pluto is not too is not too far here, but then you see how far it is away from the sun, and then you have Saturn and Pluto, how far they were away from the sun. Um, so as you can see, the inner planets are social, and the outer planets have a more anti. So I won't say anti-social, but um, a more personal. They're more introvert extrovert to an extent, based off where they're placed. But Saturn is so far out that this is why Saturn get this um, cold, detached nature, and this is just because you need that survival. You need to go with what works, what goes with the flow. Um, and Capricorn, this is where you're learning about the need to budget at this time because there's a lot of things happening financially for everybody because we know the powers that be are purposely shutting things down and you know crashing the system. So this is what my Capricorn going through that climbing this mountain is all about. The mountain for Capricorns. When you're climbing now, you're starting to see that some things you just can't control, and you can plan. Saturn is all about plans, is all about projection into the future, the long haul. And because you're going along with the plan, it doesn't necessarily mean that everything is going your way because you still have to worry about asteroids, meteorites, different things coming to disrupt, different energetic flows that disrupt. Um, and so for my planners, even though that you are planning, now you bring in the moon, so you have your logic, now you bring in emotions. That can be tough because sometimes you want to be uh, at a distance. Now you have to learn how to merge that, and this is where you're being stretched to merge your logic with your emotion, and that can be a tough thing for my Capricorns as you're trying to climb the mountain. Then you got Pluto in Capricorn plus Venus in Capricorn. So this is this can be tough because as far as love goes, you just want to focus on the thing that you love that will help you get there. Okay, falling in love with the process, and then you look at Aquarius. So you got um, Saturn. Uh, Saturn rules Capricorn. You got Saturn rules Aquarius, and Saturn is in Aquarius, is in the ninth house with Jupiter. So both of these planets, the great benefic and malefic, the beneficial one, the malefic one, the one that brings the disruption. Both of them are in Aquarius. So for my Sag and Aquarius, you're going through loss and gain. And then for my Aquarius, you're going through loss and gains of many different things, information, resources, traveling, uh, literature. Um, and so this is still good because your experiences, is going to help you when this new moon begins to grow, because that's what this whole phase is about. You need to lose some things. Sometimes we hold on to things, and you can't take that on a long journey ahead. So you got to learn how to lose before you can start to gain, and that's what this transit is about. So you see how Neptune is all the way out there, and Neptune is home in Pisces. And so uh, the view, this is where that astro comes in, that traveling, that long distance traveling through the unseen realm comes in. But this is how it looks from an overview, you know, and this is what you're currently going through now. So when we look at Monday, on Monday, you're going to have a great start. You're going to be off to a great start with Venus. Venus is going to make its presence felt um, in Capricorn, and is going to be conjunct Pluto, and Pluto is all the way out here. It's going to be in a conjunction with Pluto, and is actually going to help you to realize or to see the attachments that you have as far as the possessions of other people's possessions. This could be somebody, a close loved one, or this could be someone that you are in a union or marriage with, some will call it. But this is where you begin to empathize with those who are uh, trying to climb the ladder, and they're detached about it. It may seem like they're detached about it because they just want to get what's theirs, and you can have a lot of empathy for them. But this is where you're being called at this time to break that cycle, because too much empathy, you are also enabling actions that will um, further affirm those people pushing other people down. And um, this is the struggle begins to uh, take place when you continue these actions. I wouldn't say that for a lot of you who will be experiencing this on Monday. This is something that you're already aware of, but for some of you, you've been putting it off. This needs to change. This conjunction is going to bring that out. uh, you can attract people with your beauty because you're dealing with Venus. For some of you, it's the art, it's the music, it's the food, the way you cook. Um, this transit can also stimulate shopping because close proximity to the Earth. Venus is actually going to stimulate the resources of the Earth and make you desire that. So um, some of you have grown accustomed to the lifestyle of other people that they are able to provide, or that you've gotten used to sharing with, because Venus is in the eighth house of Capricorn. And this is where you have to learn how to uh, detach from those, because they're not yours. um, and sometimes you ignore the red flags because of the lifestyle that you got accustomed to. So but naturally, Venus, you have a beautiful soul, for whoever this applies to. um on the inside and out, you have a beautiful soul. So um and sometimes beautiful souls tend to get ran over and become doormats. And so um I would say look out for yourself. You don't have a problem with looking out for others, because when it comes to your friends on Earth, you actually take on like a mother role to the people of Earth, and they kind of see you as always looking out for the best interests of other people, to a fault sometimes. So you just gotta look out for that. And you got really great skills, and based off this angle here, you have really great skills at decoration, interior design, architect. um, but you got to really be careful not to continue to be the doormat, because I keep seeing this tendency come out even in the readings and the cards. Um, and because you have this great aspect here, this conjunction with Pluto all the way out there, this can also make you hesitant to do the hard work because you already have the resources of the other person with you. And so you have to be very careful of not being lazy because you see the work that needs to be done. And you can actually kick your feet back and say, well, I'm just going to keep letting it take place, even though I know I got to change. So, um, but on another note, you got Mars. That's going to be sextile in Pluto. So here's Pluto, Mars, and Pluto will be working together. Uh, and this is a need for independence. Some of you are going to need that independence to break free and to really create. This is where you're able to really invoke your leadership skills even more. So you might even need this independence coming up on Monday to get away from other people. And if you are active, activities that favor independence, like sports or drawing or artwork or reading, but probably more active like weightlifting, running, jogging on treadmill. Um, all of those individual sports will actually help you to spark the physical change, and then hopefully this will spark that heart plug to get moving, get things rolling. Uh, okay, peace of love, Lena Parrish. Oh, you didn't have internet for 2 days? Yes, and normally when the internet goes out, that's because you have a lot of solar flares and a lot of the planets line up on one side of the sun, and the sun sends that um, energy to the Earth, and the Earth actually um, receives, because the Earth is a receiving planet, so the Earth receives that transmission from all those planets getting together. So. Um, that's what happened with the internet sometimes. And sometimes where Mercury goes retrograde, it actually affects things. So you could be experiencing that very well. Peace and love, SR. Carissa says, yep, my Venus is in Aquarius in the house of Capricorn. Um, okay, so in the 10th house. All right. And so this is where the good start will take place. Let's see if we can move it. Uh, let's see. Okay. Okay, so this is the 6th. So you can see it's just a little bit of movement. The slower planets moving just a little bit out on the outside. You have a little movement from the planets. This is on December 6th. That was Monday. So when we look at, let's go forward here. As you see here, let's go back. Let's keep going. All right, so this is on the 7th. We're looking at Tuesday, and you see how slow this process is. So this is Tuesday. This is where the shift really begins. This is where you're going to see Mercury in the constellation of Sagittarius, and it's going to be squaring off with Neptune. That's all the way over here. This square, 90 degrees, and this square is going to bring up misunderstanding. Uh, so you could be misinterpreting the actions of other people. You're going to be misinterpreting based off of your comprehension and perspective of the situation. And then from that, others are going to misunderstand what you're doing. And so this is going to cause that great square, that fight, conflict. And you got to remember that Sagittarius is all about sight and vision, being able to see. So that's what this whole month has been about, seeing with, keen insight, foresight, and farsight. So this is where you're looking with your sight, but for some it's off, especially when it gets You got Mercury in Sag. This is where your thinking begins to get distorted. Relationships and businesses begin to uh, suffer because you have a way of seeing things, and then the other person have a way of seeing things. But in this instance, you don't have control over how the contract goes, but because it's already signed. So that's the great conflict there. Peace of love, Sadia Marshall, Ellie Vargas. Peace of love. You said, has everything already been written? Well, this is when we're looking at this is in the past. We use science and math to calculate what was already done because we're actually living in the future. So as we look up, from Earth, I should say, when we look up or what's perceived up to us, um, we're actually looking at exploding stars and in space. So a lot of this stuff already took place. So you can say you're already ahead. Okay, you're already ahead. And so um, Mercury again. This Mercury, you know, in Sag, this great conflict is going to take place based off of you personally. So. Um, when you don't read the details, Mercury is about speed and looking over contract in depth, and you miss details based off of your perception, which you think you know about the situation, and you lack comprehension of the instructions. That's going to actually cause more squaring, so more conflict. And so, especially if you're going through court cases, legal matters, lawful matters, you're gonna need an extra pair of eyes because it's all about sight this month. So you're gonna need um, extra pair of eyes to actually help you in this situation. Okay, you gotta restart. Uh, actually went out for a second. Uh, SR says, "What site is this? Is this one? This is Solar System Scope. This is one of my favorite ones. Um, Solar System Scope. Okay, so bring you right back here. Let's. As soon as you start moving it, I'm not gonna move it because as soon as you start moving it, start glitching for some reason. Um, Is there, Ellie Vargas says, is there only one timeline or multiple ones? Yes, there are multiple ones. And this is getting to the science of calculating the alignment and the movement of the planets. Um, and right now, as you can see, this uh, calendar system that we go by, this is the year 2021. And according to another calendar system, because we know they added 580 years to the calendar. This is the year 1443. According to the Dogon, completely different. This is the year 421. So there's many different timelines. And when you see these timelines take place through the calendar systems, the moments like this eclipses, these are planetary alignments that allow you to get back in harmony or in sync with the planetary movement. So as we're right now, we're looking at a tropical chart, tropical nature view, where the planets are still. If we put it in motion, it becomes sidereal, where you actually have the planets moving. Okay, and you see the planets moving. Okay. But yes, there's multiple timelines. Oh, let me stop here. Okay, so keep going. Okay, so we look at the 7th. This is Tuesday. Then you begin to see again this great conflict that's going to take place, and then you also have to be aware of pushy people because of the placement of these planets. Um, and you got Mercury and Sag. So this is Sagittarius is the one. So you're dealing with people who are sales, who are trying to make the cut, and get the status quo. So pushy salespeople, watch out for them on Tuesday, or overloading of advertisements. And you also want to watch out for religious zealots, okay, fanatics about their religious beliefs, and want to throw them and force them on you, because somebody's going to come out of these guys and come back to Earth and do something to you that you're already experiencing. So you gotta just be careful on Tuesday, because a lot of this talk is going to come up. And watch out for the psychic vampires because of this aspect. Okay, Neptune, that portal, gonna bring a lot of different experiences in on Tuesday. And Tuesday is ruled by Mars. Okay, and you see where Mars is. Um, Mars is here. Tuesday rules Mars, and you're gonna experience a lot of fighting or conflict to some degree. And on the flip side, you're gonna have the Moon in conjunction with Saturn. Okay, so the Moon in conjunction with Saturn here. Okay, you see the Moon, this little satellite here is a conjunction. Conjunction meaning working together with Saturn. So this is again another opportunity to combine your logic with your emotions. But both of them will be fighting for dominance, because on one end, you use your logic to make sense of things for some of you, and you've been accustomed to doing that, but now you have to bring in the emotions. And when you bring in the emotions, um, you know, this is the time period that you're going to need the emotions, because you're going to be trying to use your intuition. And so when the paper doesn't work, what are you going to rely on? You have to be going back to your intuition. Okay, and that's what you're going to be experiencing. So you're going to be making a lot of adjustments on Tuesday. Um, and the type of adjustments that's going to be seen by the people of the earth in the public eye, that will actually see you going through this great adversity, because Saturn brings the adversity that helps you to grow and bring change. And for some of you, you're going to be fighting depression, mood swings, and um, self-sabotaging behavior. And why is that? Because you're focused on this angle here, and you're not getting enough stimulation or vitamin D3 from the sun. And if you don't get enough vitamin D3, you're going to face that. And a lot of our people in our community, at least, they are facing depression and other things, and they're on medication. So you just got to be careful on Tuesday. Make sure you get you enough vitamin D3. And, you know, this will assist you in your fight on Tuesday, because Tuesday is going to be a fight. And you get some vitamin or amin raw, get some vitamin, and you'll see the effects of how raw affects you. Okay, and um, this is where you again have no control over outside stimuli. So you have to learn how to embrace change that come, because Saturn comes to bring changes. And as you can see with his rings, he then uh, make you go through the ringer if you don't get the lesson. Okay, um, and this is all about breaking down the walls of your shadow on Tuesday, because a lot of people are projecting their shadows, and it's like Saturn and Uranus, they are destroying. Um, the shadows. You see, both of these great planets here are sending beams down or towards the Earth to help expose and remove these things. Okay. Um, Ellie Vargas says, so does your ancestry affect your timeline? Yes. In part because you have within you the DNA of your ancestors, and based off their alignments with these planets and with these energies, planetary energies, um, it helped them to uh, achieve their goals. It helped them to better love. It helped them to better think. It helped them to take better actions. And Mars, it helped them to learn different things, different sciences of the earth, to master it. It helped them to be disciplined. So yes, based off of how your ancestors aligned in the past, it definitely has an influence on you today. Um, do you know of the other planet ISS caught 2 days ago on the dark side of the Earth? It looked like another moon. Well, yeah, there is Earth 2.0 is missing from here, and there is the second sun that's missing from here, and there is Solstice or Sirius that's missing from here as well. So yeah. Um, Sadia Marshall says, if you know, what does this past solar eclipse represent? You might have touched on it already. Yeah, this solar eclipse. Um, yeah, we actually did a solar event on that. But when the sun, moon, and the earth align, this is a total solar eclipse, and this happens every 18 months or so. And for those who count by the moon system or the moon calendar, you're actually younger than what you are. And this is a chance to really get in alignment with the sidereal or real moving time of the planets, so that you won't be controlled by the time loop and the time system that was created. Because for us who are in the know, we don't really go by time that's controlled by others. We actually go by, uh, we use time as a reference, or um, space. Time and space is controlled. And you can track that by the planetary alignment and the mathematical equation to track the speed of light. Because if you could track the speed of light, you could track the distance, and you could track time. And you could track time, you can control time. So we go by different time systems. Um, Ellie Vargas says, did the Roman Empire exist? Yes. The Roman Empire existed, and the Roman Empire, the distinction, the Holy Roman Empire and the Roman Empire. But this is where they begin to rewrite us out of history and or time and write themselves back into it. So, uh, 1492, when they took over, they began in the first century AD to rewrite things, to confirm their rulership on Earth. Awake I am. Hey, King Leo here. I just sent you 42. I will be in the contract for another reading in Jan. All right, Awake I am. But wouldn't that throw up all the signs? Yeah. So, um, when you look at all of the signs, the constellations, they are ruled by, well, they're ruled by these planets here, and there's actually more than 12 signs according to our ancestors. I know a lot of people get wrapped up and caught up in the 13th sign because of NASA and then some Albion who came up with some system. But there's something that's deeper than what they teach you, that they hide about our ancestors, that had a concept of 18 signs and 36 signs and even more than that. And it was based off the great intuition, of the now, okay, and the seasons, the seasons of the earth. But that's for another time. Um, Time loop, is that a prison planet? Yes, and that's what you're going to be experiencing on Tuesday or a little bit of this week, because again, when you're controlled, you're test subjects. So you test subjects, then now you have to fight and do things when they tell you to. So, and that's what a lot of our people are doing now. Um, okay, so that's on Tuesday. So Tuesday, you got a lot of people breaking down. Uh, Lena Paris says, they even lied about the time. That's right. The Roman Empire is still here. Yep. They just changed their name. Um, yes, the Vatican and the banks. I meant the one they show us in Hollywood. Um, to an extent, they put the truth out there about that, and then they also, um, clothe it with a lot of it's whitewash. Let's just say that. SR says, so is a default a time loop? What do you mean by default? Elena Paris says, NASA is fake. They never went to the moon. Well, I used to think that too. That they never went to the moon. And they faked the moon landing. Houston, we have a problem. They had a set in Texas that they were shooting on. But that from further research, I actually found that it's just me. I think that they actually did go to the moon, and I know that there is colonies on the moon. That's how they actually found the pyramids and the face of one of our own people on the moon, and mounds, and other structures that we built, and so from this, I think they lied about not going to the moon. That's what I think. Um, I think they lied about faking going to the moon. That's what I think, based on my research. And I know we all going through our own learning journey. SR says, "Oh, deja vu. Yeah, so that's what you say. Deja vu, time loops, or parallel universes. Yep. hmm And so, let's go ahead and look at that's Tuesday, Wednesday, ruled by Mercury. Mercury is here. Okay, and um, this again, Mercury and Sag is a square. Neptune is what you're going to start getting on Tuesday, but then you're going to finish off with the Mars is going to begin to square Jupiter. And so you look at Mars, this direct 90-degree square to Jupiter is going to take place here. So the fight, you can actually expect the unexpected because Mars is in Scorpio, Jupiter is in Aquarius. So when you get around a lot of people, Mars is in the sixth house of Scorpio. You're dealing with a lot of people. You're working with your coworkers on employment, and that rage, that fire is just rising up, and this outburst in front of all of these people that you're connected with or working with or networking with is going to take place. And this is going to, they're going to feel the sting of the scorpion on Wednesday, because all of that tension built up inside. It's going to be an explosion, two fiery planets getting together. But this is going to bring the type of explosion that's needed, because just like the moon here is new, you're going to need something to spark the stimulation for your growth. When you're planting in seeds in the ground, um, you need them to grow, and they have to fight to grow. And that's what you're experiencing with these two planets here, Jupiter and Mars, both of them fighting. Okay. How does Vedic astrology fit into how you read? Yeah, Vedic is actually a system um, that is mimicked, or I should say parallel, from our ancestors as well. Vedic get their style and tradition from our ancestors, and I'm actually going to be implementing or start introducing some of that, the way that they actually our ancestors used sidereal. Okay, the Vedic is all about sidereal, and instead of going by 7 days, you have the seven ruling planets, and then you have the outer planets. Our ancestors had many systems where we went by um, 10 days. Okay, and um, so I'm gonna start bringing that into the equation, not the Vedic, but the one that our ancestors actually was using. And then you're gonna be, let's go back. So this is on so let's go forward on the 9th. Okay, on the 9th, uh, Thursday, you're going to get more of this energy spewing over from this big square of Mars and Jupiter. And um, this is where you're going to be reflecting on a lot of the things that took place, this fight, this big explosion that took place. So, from the wounds that you've caused or gained, you're going to either be licking your wounds or pouring salt on them. So that's what this is going to be about um, on Thursday. And then when you look at the 10, now you're looking at the moon in conjunction. Okay. Okay. The moon in conjunction with Neptune. Okay. And here's the moon here. And here is, let's look out, Neptune. So this conjunction between the moon and Neptune is going to take place. It is also going to be squaring the sun. The sun is a Sagittarius, and you got a sextile of Uranus and Taurus. So Friday is going to be tough. You're going to look at a lot of manipulative energy. It's going to be a crazy week. A lot of manipulative energy. Those who are trying to manipulate, the ones who have the real talent, the ones who are really trying to do the work, they're going to be manipulated. And then some of those people are going to try to do the bait and switch. So they're going to try to play innocent, um, and try to drag somebody into a fight, and then, um, you know, really expose that person. So you got to be careful, because even the little lie that you tell is going to blow up. So just be careful on Friday of this energy. Um, Lena Paris says something strange is going on over here. Peaceful people are fighting like wolves. Oh yeah, there's a lot of energy that's being, manipulated at this time, especially if that's going to be on Friday. And so when we move forward, let's go forward here. That's the 11. Yeah, so this is the moon is getting closer to the Earth, and now you have it conjunct Pluto, the moon conjunct Pluto, and this allows people to be more vulnerable with love, because Pluto is in Capricorn, the eighth house, and but you gotta be careful because you could be deceived. And this is self-deception. This isn't even on the other person, because you may want to desperately reconnect with your ex, and for some of you, it's not going to work out. But for my water signs, that is Cancer, the crab, Scorpio, the scorpion, and Pisces, the fish, you all are going to be able to make that connection and make it stick. So, and then when you throw in Mercury, that's going to be in a sextile to Jupiter, making a sextile aspects to Jupiter. Mercury still in Sag and Jupiter in Aquarius. If you learn how to cooperate, uh, this is going to lead to better opportunities. So if you learn how to speak and say better things, and um, think differently when it comes to contracts and relating with others, you're going to have more opportunity, because Jupiter is in Aquarius, the humanitarian sign, the networking sign. Um, and your mind is being prepared mentally, because Mercury deals with the mind, to uh, go on the adventure. Okay. And then, of course, the moon in Pisces. This is where you're looking at the trine to Mars. So when you look at this harmony right here, Mars is in Scorpio and the moon in Pisces. So this is a lot of water. This is a lot of water. Uh, Peace and love, more. B Mars, good to see you, more. Um, and so this is the ability to uh, earn, and you can earn through being an advisor on an advisory board, but lack the motivation, because it comes too easy. And when things come too easy, you got too many trines in the chart, it makes you lazy. And so, like I said before, my Pisces, you could really be a counselor from the things that you went through, uh, but you have to really get over this hump of this laziness. Uh, Let me see this. Okay. And that's going on Saturday. And on Sunday, this is going to be an epic event on Sunday. Let's go forward. Sunday, the 12, 12, 12, got 19, 19 p.m. This is a palindrome, 12, 12, 21 palindrome. This is obverse, reverse energy. Another chance to connect and get in alignment with the planets and really um, connect with the rhythm of the universe. So you won't be controlled or out of time. So when you are on someone else's time, you can never really get the success you're looking for. And that's the problem. A lot of us are on a 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 block. So you're blocked out of time. And let's see, let me look at for my, let's look at for my signs here. Let's look. Sadia Marsh said, I'm a Pisces. Yes, I have been lazy lately. Feels like I'm getting ready for a huge change. Love helping people. That's right. That's right. So when we look at my sun, my Leo, let's look at the sun, Leo. This week, a Mirror of Cups. Here you're dealing with that person that is, um, the charmer. Okay, you are really engaged and invested into this person, this mysterious person. It can be a Scorpio, this can be water sign, and they are on their game. They are on their stuff. They're actually putting in the work, and you're highly attracted to them. A Mirror of Cups upright, and so that's what you'll be dealing with in the midst of all of this craziness this week. For my Cancers, you have the Malik of Swords in reverse. And let's go to my Cancers here. Again, this is that brow chakra energy. So for my Cancer here, you see the distance of the moon from the sun. You're dealing with Malik of Swords in reverse. Okay, a lot of mental energy. A fight recently happened. Letting go, letting things off your chest, letting the situation go mentally so you can move forward. Because if not, that spiral will continue to take place. Now let's look at for my Mercury. This is for my Gemini and Taurus. For my Taurus, you're dealing with the Seven of Swords upright. People are watching you heavy right now. While you're handling a lot of paperwork, handling a lot of contracts, dealing with a lot of different um, IDs, something dealing with you know a service, and so a lot of people are watching you, and you have to be careful of not um, losing things or misplacing things right now. That's important. Your ID, keys, something that you're going to need. Okay, and for my this is for my Gemini. This here we're dealing with the death card. This is the devil energy, quote unquote, or the darkness, the death that needs to take place. Um, and this isn't a bad card. This is a great card when you look at death as a part of life. Things need to die so things can grow. So you're going through the death of stinking thinking right now for my Gemini. Okay, so that the new can come in. Okay. All right, and let's go ahead and look at the heart chakra, Venus. Okay, so we look at Venus upright. Who we got here with Venus? We have, okay, I have the alchemy card in reverse. Alchemy card in reverse. This is for my Libra. And for my Libra, this is learning how to transcend situation. Right now, you're not in control of the situation. You're not seeing things from a higher perspective, and actually, you're not able to transmute the situation at this time because you're too vested in it. Sometimes you got to pull back to see it in these type of views, to look down on it from the sides, you get different angles, so you can be able to transform your situation. Okay. Um, and Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands, some of you are prisoners to your own thought. And again, I like to always remind you that not everybody is against you. Okay. You have to really see that not everybody is against you. Some of those that you perceive as enemies is actually on your side. It's just that you're in your own mental prison. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at what's next. Mars for my sacral, I should say solar plexus here. Mars for my Scorpio, you got the Lover's card upright. For the Lover's card upright, this is where you begin to commit to a relationship, something that's new, that's begin to grow, or something that you love. This is even writing, community, some type of, um, again, short term or smaller group that you're connected with, that you begin to really commit to, or even that person you really begin to get in uh, harmony and in sync with them. And then for my Aries here, you got the Desert Hermit. You're going on a journey of transformation, spiritual transformation, one that will help you boost your confidence and build the necessary um, wisdom and actions that you're desiring. Okay. Let's see. Ellie Vargas says, "Are spiritual contracts real?" In a sense, when you use the word spiritual, yes. Um, we all choose to come here, so we all choose to come back here. If you're on Earth and you're human, I can't speak for those hybrids or those who don't have souls, but if you're here, um, the gateway that you came through in your sign is actually the gate that you entered into Earth. And when you actually come into Earth, when you come through those gateways, you come to learn and grow. Okay. Um, so, all right. And so now when we look at Jupiter, we're looking at Pisces. Okay. Pisces upright, seven of disc. You looking at the long road ahead. You're like, ah, man, I know I got to go. I know I have to do what it takes. I know that everything is within my grasp, but I don't feel like going. And that's the energy that I've been picking up on. Seven of discs. You have all of the discs, you have all of the resources and materials you need, but it's like, I still got to take the trip. I still got to make the journey. And for my Sagittarius, you have the judgment in reverse. Okay. You can now relax about the decisions that was made in the past. Let it go. You cannot move forward looking backwards. You are riding a horse trying to go forward and your head is turned backwards. And this is how you get hit with the arrow yourself. You're supposed to be using the arrow and you get shot down from not um, focusing where you're supposed to be focusing. If you're supposed to be looking here, you're looking backwards. And there's nothing backwards but the past. You gotta let go. It's a lot of meteor, a lot of cosmic dust that you have to learn how to let go and leave behind. For my Saturn, now you're dealing with the root. This is for my Capricorn, a mirror of disc. It is tough right now. A mirror of disc in reverse. Need some more resources. I need access to more fiat finances, gold, money, silver, whatever you want to call it. I need more access to it. A mirror of disc. I don't feel like the Amir, the Pharaoh, um, the ruler, the general of my own finances. And maybe it's because you're not properly managing them right now. Um, and that's what Saturn's lesson is about, learning how to manage for stability, safety, and survival. For my Aquarius, you're dealing with the Princess of Wands. Now you begin to really embody the elements of the wands and creating your own future financially, using that fire energy, a lot of fire energy at this time to really get things going. This is also for Cancer, Virgo, Leo. um, you also begin to get that business, get those things, those goals accomplished. So I'm really proud of you for that. This was going to happen this week, but some of you are going to push through. It's going to be a crazy battle. A lot of them is going to spark off on Tuesday on Mars day, but this is what you're looking at. Um, any other questions? Any other question? Okay, let me see here. Okay, so oh yeah, like I said, 12, 12, 21 gonna be another big time. Um, so you want to start looking at these these time frames. Um, As a matter of fact, let me see if I can share this real quick. See if I can share. Share. Mm. Okay, so all right, so all right, so you see here how the planets align. This alignment is going to actually take place again. Just took place on the 4th, 12 degrees Sagittarius. Another one's going to happen for you, 12, 12, 21. And I don't expect everybody to want to align with this because, this is for those who are those cosmic warriors that know who they are. So on this day, if you're going to align, um, I'll be getting myself in alignment. This is another opportunity for us all to do that. And so when you see these planets align the way they do, this is a chance to take back control and master time. When you master the elements, you master nature, then you become what they call a god or in the god state. And that's the whole goal of life. Um, Sadia Marshall says, yes, LO, I will continue on the journey. My mind set will change and kick in. Always does. Thank you for the insight. No problem. Ellie Vargas says, any way to avoid battle? Um, yes. So now that you see that the battle is taking place, all battles are won before they're fought. So now that you see this is going to take place, um, you know, you feel those when Mars get activated and you feel when the moon and Saturn begins to activate, and then Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn. Now you can know how to relate to people, and for the, when they want to get into those conflicts, you can go ahead and isolate yourself so you don't um, get into those arguments, and they drag you into that. Now you begin to want to fight verbally or physically. And if you're not even going through that, this can be on a personal level, conflict within. Um, the conflicts within, those are necessary. You can't avoid those. SR says, I think we have to, I think she said, be mindful of Tuesday conflicts. That's right. Ellie Vargas, if the calendars are altered, will the date portals be as well? Well, the altered calendars are based off of the planetary alignments and the constellation. So they're altered to a certain extent, yes. Um, and that's how you use the real time calculator of the Earth and the planets. Sharon Linton says, I'm an Aquarius having a hard time in life now. Tell me something good, please. Well, um, yeah, just read something good. The Princess of Wands upright, really embodying that Cancer, Leo, Virgo energy, really embodying your own wands, being able to, um, make things happen for yourself. And this is the best thing uh, to help you in your adversity. Take control of your own life. The wands are actually going to be in your hands, so you're going to be able to create. Um, the life that you desire, or the whatever what's in your vision. Ellie Verse says everything passes. That's right. Are we in school? Some of us are in school. Uh, you know, I can't speak for everybody because don't know if everybody is human. So that's another topic. But for us we are in school. Even when you see us act out and cuss each other out, go crazy, hate, on one another. We're still learning. Some of us chose that experience to learn, and some of that is from karma. Um, and we are subjected, some of us, to karma. We have not mastered nature yet, so where we can start working in dharma, so we can start causing things to happen. We are reflectors, so for some of us. And so, again, with this 12, 12, 21, that's the alignment when they start happening this way. Okay, let's see. Now, this is the principle as above, so below. This is how our ancestors was able to track time in the planetary alignments and then build things on Earth, because it's a cosmic mirror. Whatever you build on the ground, you look up. Whatever you see in the sky is what you can actually align things with. This is how we build. And here's the constellations. You can see here. And this is what the calendars were, made in conjunction with. Okay. No problem, Sharon Linton. And so I think we are here in this moment for a reason. That's right. I think so too. I definitely think we are here for a reason too. I think we can't lose sight of this, even in the midst of all the stuff going on, like the way it is. Ellie Vargas says masonry. Are you referring to how we build things? So, dear Marshall said, it's also important to connect with the earth. If possible, take time to step out on the earth barefoot on soil if possible. I have our purchased ground pads to connect ourselves to earth. Trust self. That's right. I agree with that. Awake I am says, wow, thanks, King. No problem. Thank you for tuning in. B. Taylor says, I know I am still learning. Good question in the chat. Thank you. Much gratitude, Nova. Thank you all for joining and tuning in. And again, hopefully, I'm going to start bringing more tools so you can have and just be able to use a lot of this science. When you learn how to master this stuff, life begins to get fun, and you can stop being controlled. And if you on an individual level, but collectively, these are the tools and things that we have accessible to us to begin to not only take back control of our lives, but also be in alignment with the universe. And again, there's a universal universal theorem that shows the chosen people. And here you see Sirius here, and that theorem proves who the chosen people, the true people of the earth is, and is calling for our people to step up. Let me see. So here's Sirius, the dog star here. And you see how the planets are aligned here, and you see how where is that as far as its connection with the planets here, as far as that. Okay. All right. So I hope this was helpful. And I hope you all enjoy your week. It's going to be a great week still, even with the ups and downs, but we still got to continue to push forward. I'm still rooting for you all. I know you're going to excel, and I hope that you accomplish all that you can. But remember the cycles right now, which moon phase that we are in. And right now is the best time to begin to plant. There's not enough light in the sky to begin to do a lot of activities. Okay. Just like if you were traveling down the road, there's not enough light to see. You don't have enough high beams to help you. This is darkness, right? So you have to allow things to grow. Be patient. SR said they're trying hard to leave us out of history. That's right. Rewrite us out of history. That's right. PH says, rest in peace, Malika, Malcolm X daughter, and Jacqueline Avant. I want to know the details. Suspicious and seems foul play. Pray for the families and each other colored melanated families suffering from foul violence. That's right. And we can put an end to this. A lot of the things that's taking place. Um, we did before, but we forgot. We can do that. And times like, 12, 12, 21, and December 4th, and December 20, really December 20th through the 25th will be chances for you to get an alignment to get in control. But again, a lot of our people are so distracted. Peace of love, Sadia Marshall. Peace of love, Kia. All right, so and I leave you with the words, may your soul find satisfaction. In other words, Hotep, peace and much love.